I can hear you inside the bubble.
So how's everyone doing?
Why did...
Oh no. The bubble.
I'm hungry.
Why does
Should do something about
why
that,
did Logan have a
Alex.
gif of Alex?
Oh!
what
That
I
hurt.
look like.
That hurt.
It's the
That's
same
not what you
haircut.
look like, but it was still
No,
kind
it's
of
not.
funny.
My hair is shorter than
It's like
that.
the same haircut.
You've been in quarantine, it's probably longer at this point.
No, I got a haircut.
Alex, literally.
Haircut.
I also
It's
wear
getting
glasses.
gross.
You're getting gross, William. Get
What if
fucked,
you're blind?
idiot.
Oh yeah, no, that was a disgusting commute, I'll tell you what.
Okay.
Okay, you can tell us about the fried
Did we
pickles
start the
later, buddy.
recording yet?
I don't have those that often.
So, like, in liters, how much did you shit?
After arriving
Say that.
back at the Mortal Coil
Oh no.
from the Shadowfell, you got your affairs in order, covered your tracks as best you could at Fort Siege, and then began to head south. A quick stop in Aria, and your journey led you eventually to the town of Dreswood, home of Walker and Simon. You spent your days journeying, just enjoying the fact that you were not directly at risk of death or worse anymore. And upon arriving, you knew you had some time to kill before eventually contacting Marquez so that you could figure out when and how you'll be leaving the country and escaping to Garland. Walker had a debriefing with his father, in which he told his father everything, the arcane strangeness, the entirety of his journeys across the entirety of the country. And at the same time, the rest of you went about your days, you had some meat, had your nights covered by, as friends of the friend of the family, at the Bee's Knees Tavern. Ishri learned the basic concept of economics. Evian laid low. Simon went to see his parents, but it was for naught, for they were in Sharondale on a vacation of sorts. Though Simon did get to see his brother, Christian, and Rom got to meet him as well. They discussed at length the concepts behind how to clean drapery and do other household chores. And eventually, you guys got settled in. Walker learned more and spoke to his father more, and the next day came. You went out and had a conversation about what happens next. Will you use a meta conversation about whether or not Owen would be a nice boy and use a 3rd level spell slot to make the mill a bit more efficient, deciding against it, and eventually going to meet Cordell Walker, Moses Walker's father, who he seemed intent on meeting, if at least a bit. So, as you all wait and Walker heads up towards the mill itself to get his father barking orders at the many hires that keep this fairly large and very efficient mill operating, I will ask unto you all, Amari, Evian, Ishri, Owen, Rom, Mute, Simon, and Walker. I'm sorry, and Moses. What are you guys doing?
Well, I do believe Moses was fetching his papa from the mill while the others sat and wait.
Yep.
Sure.
You all watch as he heads up, and he just kind of, you see from up on the mill, barking orders. He kind of, Cordell stops and looks down, and, what do you need, Moses?
Owen's here, as well as the others.
He kind of nods a bit and barks a few more quick orders at While you don't recognize any of the people at a glance, Walker, you gather some of these have probably been working longer than others, and he delegates very quickly and heads off with that strong, but it's a strong limp, but he still has a impressive stride given the bad condition of his leg.
Assuming he knows where he's going, Walker's going to follow behind towards the others.
I mean, he comes down and, like, walks beside you and
There you go.
just kind of walks in their general direction. I just saw that Alex posted a message 2 minutes ago. That's a good way to start the recording. Oh. The amount of abuse that you guys haven't done in that has really impressed me. Because I don't check that chat as often when there's not rolls going on.
I'll do it. I'll do it too.
Don't.
So anyway, he comes down and he immediately just kind of scans everyone and looking almost surprised. You can see, Walker, you can see that he is in the process of trying to put names to faces.
Can you describe this man to us?
Yes, please.
I'm sorry. He is a bit taller than Walker, a bit more broad-shouldered. You can tell whereas Walker is much more of a finesse, efficiency person, this is someone who, especially in his later age, had to rely more on strength than speed and dexterity in his life. And he has a very intense widow's peak, starting to thin hair. He, clean shaven, but a hint of, like, probably hasn't shaved in about 2 days, but he's the kind who has a beard grow slowly. He's much more trimmed than Walker. Not to say he cares about his appearance, but he seems to put more effort into it. And he just kind of has these, vaguely sunken-in eyes, just kind of the look of someone who has worked every day of their life and desperately needs a vacation. And, he doesn't smile. He does the same thing Walker does, where it's more analytical than anything else, as he is trying to, again, put names to faces, as you would know, Walker.
Father, this is, Mari, Evian Ishri, Owen, Ron, Simon.
He just
Nice to meet you.
vaguely
Walker,
nods.
gestures towards the group as he speaks.
When Evian's name is said, he will nod.
He kind
Owen,
of
when his name is said, he will nod as well and offer his hand to Daddy Walker.
Did Nick become Alex?
I got my moments, man.
for the first time, I see the family resemblance.
God, I hated it.
It's so weird. Because Alex is a bird and Nick is a skeleton. It's just weird that they're related.
How do you know Alex isn't a skeleton bird?
Yeah.
Because we've heard her wings flap.
Okay, skeletons can have feathers.
I don't think that's accurate.
It's going with a collection of feathers.
They just glue them on, man. Come on.
Alex, can you confirm with your expertise in
As the skeleton bird, can you have feathers?
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever
would
seen
like to play D&D.
have you ever seen the fossil of the Archaeopteryx?
So anyway, he his gaze kind of stops at Owen for a second. He kind of scans you and
Owen did say he put his hand out.
something you are not accustomed to, especially here, Owen, as he immediately just falls to a knee and bows his head.
Okay, I have thought of this moment. Do you know the famous video of the Pope where people come up to him and they go to kiss his ring, and he just like stops them from doing that?
Yeah.
Can Owen do that to Cordell Walker?
Nick just compared his character to the Pope.
It was the only visual thing that came to mind.
The prestige of that being the fact that he just said, "Can we stop and play D&D?" But yes, I know what you mean, and you kind of stop him, and he looks a bit torn for a second.
Let me paint you a word picture. So he goes to Cordell goes to bow, and Owen.
Something I'm going to add in here is this man who is bowing also has a leg handicap.
Yeah, he is
readily
like his left leg is just fucking. He has a very bad limp on it, for lack of a better description. And he kind of like falls down, and you start to stop him, and he kind of looks up, almost confused, like he's not sure why, and he just kind of like studies your face for a second.
Yeah, so Owen, as he goes to bow, he takes Cordell's hand and shakes it, puts his other hand on his shoulder, and smiles at him, and he says, "My name's Owen. It's a pleasure to meet you."
His eyes narrow, and he grudgingly stands back up, and as he does, kind of picks his cane up with him and turns to Walker, just kind of side-eyes him for a second. Not negatively, but inquisitively, and turns back to you, Owen, and pauses again.
Walker's just watching.
Never thought that'd be Never thought I'd see one of you again. And shakes his head. Thought I left this behind.
Moses told me about your history with my uncle.
He furrows his brow a bit. I knew him. Kind of looks up, almost nostalgic for just a brief second. Another life. I knew him.
Well, if it's a story you'd like to tell, I'd be glad to hear it.
He kind of starts scratching at his leg a bit and perhaps inside.
Owen nods and steps out of the way to let Cordell lead.
This is... You can see that same take it upon himself pride that Walker obviously got from his father, as this man, crippled as he is, seems to be willing to put himself in ever more discomfort just to make sure that his stride isn't slowed down by his pain or weakness of having a bad leg, as he leads you all to the nearby home of the Walkers.
Boy. She is just beaming, so excited.
Surprised to no one, the home is completely wooden. Let's see. A few things we've discussed. The inside of it, there's shelves of wooden knickknacks of varied quality. Some extremely well made, and others not so well made. Some in the middle.
Vaguely like a, like one of those stalls at a flea market where somebody just makes all their own knickknacks, but inside of a home. You know that there are things like there's a nice rug near the entryway, but it looks like it hasn't been swept or not. This definitely lacks that that homeowner's touch that you would expect. Cobwebs in the corners, just things like that. Very much pragmatism. The kitchen table is clean and organized. The counters are clean and organized, but the corners are not swept out from cobwebs, things like that. There are vague piles of dirt and just things where it lacks that homely touch. And he guides you into a larger room where there's a few seats and motions for you all to sit, and he goes into the kitchen and starts carrying more chairs in.
Amari will, seeing him grab more chairs, he'll try to take them from him and try to help about chairs.
Walker assists by grabbing a different chair.
And you eventually get... There's a couple of nice ones that face a fireplace, and now the fireplace unlit. It is well in the middle of summer in Lenore. There is zero reason to ever have a fireplace right now, but it's there. And he kind of moves a nice stack of wood out of the way and motions for you to put the chairs, and eventually you have enough for you all to sit down in a rough circle, though not complete. A couple are awkwardly kind of off to the side, a bit more in the back, off to, like, the side of the fireplace. And, he turns again to Owen and... What did Moses tell you about?
Told me that you knew Fergus. That you had met him a few times.
He considers again for just a second. Would it be considered? He pauses, bites his lip. Is it considered meeting someone if you never speak to them sober?
Owen smiles and he says, with Fergus? Aye.
He just nods, yes. During our youth, we met a number of times. He was something of a black sheep of them. I had no less respect for him than any of the rest of you.
Doesn't often talk about those days.
Kind of shakes his head a bit, and there has always been more drama than I would have liked the further north you got in Garland.
Owen shrugs. It's home.
He nods, looks around him, and reassuringly nods again, as if to say, and so is this. And he looks to you all, and there's a moment of just... He's, again, almost like taking stock of you all. Turns to Walker. My boy, who I emphasized. Moses, you knew better than anyone how dangerous magic is. How dangerous it is to even associate with me. I'm counting 5. And expressionless, he just after that stares at Walker.
Is he judging me for my association with mages?
Vaguely, yes. More just waiting for someone to... Yeah, he's waiting for someone to say something about this.
She's gonna kind of narrow eyes. What do you have against people who use magic?
I haven't seen my wife.
We talk about magic being illegal.
Or my
Yeah. Specifically, yeah.
I haven't seen my wife.
Just making sure.
Sort of shit did we forget to tell her?
He kind of purses his lips a bit and narrows his eyes to Ishri, and you're the one from... And he looks to Walker for clarification or to finish the sentence.
Simon called it the Shadowfell.
Yes. Mrs. Ishri.
This is true, yes.
I have not seen my wife or my youngest in years because of magic. If any one of you were found out, Vantelier would raid this home, and we would all be off in shackles in a matter of minutes.
Well, we haven't been found out yet.
His eyes narrow at Walker as she says that. The emphasis on yet, in particular, Walker, you would know, is a level of pessimism that is, if nothing else, frustrating.
Talked to them before about the way they act.
He, again, narrows his eyes and leans forward, his elbows on his knees, and balls a fist up in his other hand, and then crosses them. All have done your part to keep my boy safe. For that, there is a respect.
I have a question.
Yep.
How does Walker look when his dad says keep my boy safe?
It's actually the look from before of Walker's dad pointing out the fact that he's done something foolish and traveling with a group of this many mages. He's kind of looked like almost not like solemn, almost like mild regret, but like kind of like sadness at the fact that that's true, and that's kind of where he's still at.
Alright, fair. Thank you, sir.
He keeps his gaze, while he does seem to be scanning each of you, that same sort of, not defensive, but analytical thing that, Walker is wont to do when he scans a room, or is worried about if someone might attack, or if they have any weapons on them, that same sort of look about him. Most of his attention is paid to Owen and Walker. Walker, a more emotional look of concern, a more fatherly look. And Owen, almost a combination of surprise and reverence at his very existence here. And after a moment, he continues. Mr. McDurk.
Just Owen is fine.
Pauses for a second. Mr. McDurk. Why are you here? Why? He looks to Walker as if continuing his thoughts, and you all know by now that Walker has told his father everything, and he kind of... If you could have escaped, surely the arcane abilities you are purported to possess, there must be some way you could leave now. Why are you staying? Why have you stayed as long as you have?
I thought he told you everything.
Why are you with these people?
Evian looks a little insulted.
Why are you not with your people?
Did Moses tell you why I'm in Lenore at all?
He nods.
Owen makes a, non-committal gesture.
He emphasizes, at any point, you could have left these people and found one of a million arcane ways to find a ride on a boat back to Garland, back to safety. In times of war, unity is so important. father must need you now more than ever.
Owens, he clenches his teeth at the mention of his father, just for a moment, but then he regains his composure, and he says, before a few weeks ago, I had no reason to believe that my family needed me, that I was wanted at home. I've had word since then.
He looks vaguely nervous and motions towards you in a continuing manner. And what news of this war?
Well, they say the Red Band landed on the shores of my homeland. Say that the Red Band have taken Fort Getz, Darrow.
Purses his lips a bit. This is no skirmish. This is a war again. Scourges seem only to have delayed the inevitable.
If I am to understand correctly, it's only a scourge that allowed them to land at all.
He looks down and he does this half shrug. I'm not a man of military knowledge. I wasn't. I was never... I met your uncle as a bodyguard for merchants or people of import or the Selkor family. You would know those as the rulers of Kinmorn. I was, And, he turns to Walker for a second, almost more enunciating emotion to him than anything, and turns back, as he probably has well suspected. My youth was a constant existence as a trained rider. You would know those to be the ranger-esque scouts that lived off the land from Kinmorn and would travel throughout. Very adept fighters, very adept at surviving, able to, that mountain man type of can make a life out of nothing at all. Very self-sufficient.
Did you say they're called trained riders?
Rider. I will spell that for you. He motions towards Walker with his head. I was never one to be much of a teacher, I didn't think, but Moses, he took well enough to it, as I'm sure you can attest at this point.
Aye.
During many of these so-called, a few of these so-called journeys north, the escorts, that he motions in such a way that he kind of like holds an open palm to you, as if he's going to be retreading ground of things you already know. When the time comes to take one kinsleader to another, there is always that time when 1,000 guards, and he makes a motion and obvious hyperbolic number.
Owen, he does an appreciative, sarcastic nod as well.
We'll sit outside of the meetings and have their own, normally, with much more in the way of ale and much less in the way of politics. And none...
That was always where Fergus preferred to be anyway.
He gives a little half-smile, and none respected that tradition more than your Uncle Fergus. I do hope that he is as well as he was when you left him. If perhaps a bit more sober.
Well, that I very much doubt, but...
The man was always one to get on someone's bad side when he drank too much and said the wrong thing. I don't think he ever took too good to the words "take it back."
I suppose not.
He shakes his head a bit. Truth be told, I doubt the man would remember me now. There were many of us. I'm sure he drank with thousands, tens of thousands. Perhaps millions. Walker, there's almost a hint of nostalgia on your father's face, and it's a strange thing that you haven't really ever... Okay, Alex.
Sorry, hold on.
Let me know when I can continue.
You can go ahead. I'm just gonna mute myself while I scold this dog.
I'm scared she's gonna tell me stop again. So, it's a sense of nostalgic warmth. An emotion that it's very hard to understand is happening on your father's face. For what a stoic man he normally is. He turns back after a second, getting his senses back, and looks to Owen. I do apologize if I've altered any of your plans here or in the future with this meeting. I only wish to be able to pay my respects to the blood that made my life possible.
Owen nods and he says, "Your thanks is appreciated, but unnecessary. I'm sure any of us would have done the same."
He looks vaguely skeptical. Whether or not anyone would do the same. It was Alistair who did it. He was the start of all of this. I know he was not the first or probably the last to ever even think about shedding blood for freedom. He was certainly the one we were all able to rally behind. Death meant so much. So many. I know you've heard it countless times. He considers for a second and turns to Walker. Moses, I'm happy you found someone so respectable to learn from. Follow. That is where this continues. I'm happy you can learn about your home in any way. Sorry I didn't speak about more, but It was not to be expected. I wanted you to focus on the life you had, not the life you couldn't. And he looks almost pained to say that.
Walker isn't really sure how to react to most of this conversation. It's kind of the look he had earlier that day all over again. The uncertainty.
He thinks for a moment, and as if a thought just popped into his head, his eyes brighten and open for a second. Where are my manners? Would you like some tea? And he kind of looks to everyone.
Owen's face lights up, and he just, why yes, a tea would be lovely.
He heads off into the kitchen and very quickly, again, not letting his wounds ever slow him down. He comes back with a surprisingly impressive balancing act of 7 various cups. There is no organization or symmetry to them. There's no uniformity. But he brings them back after a moment and places down cups, handing them to each of you one at a time. Mitchell, by the way, your mic keeps, like, throwing static.
Not epic. Hold on, let me turn up my noise gate. I thought I fixed it, but I guess
Your mic's a bit poor quality today than usual.
Yes. This should fix it. I upped the noise gate just a little bit. I think it's my fan.
Okay. Alright, anyway, so.
Let me know if it happens.
Alright.
Owen accepts his tea with a beaming smile and much excitement.
What type of tea is it?
It's darker. It's obviously not mint. It's got a very strong, almost, It's got kind of this, how do I even describe it? Like, vaguely sweet smell to it, but it's a very dark tea. Not what you would expect brewed by a member of the Walker household. Yeah. For color, it's a vaguely... It looks vaguely like coffee in color, like black coffee, almost. A little bit translucent. It tastes, for those of you who drink it, of licorice with a hint of strawberry.
That's a strong taste, man.
Yeah? You would note, Walker, your cup does not have the same thing, and he did not get himself a cup.
What does mine have?
At a quick whiff, whiskey.
Fuck it. Fucking Walker's dad knows him. Walker's gonna take a sip.
You would note that he did not pour himself a cup of this tea either.
Walker takes a sip of his, puts the glass down, mumbles, "Good tea."
I'd sip only enough to be polite.
Same.
Because dang.
No, it is a it's got a very strong licorice aftertaste. You gather that the hint of strawberry taste is probably there to knock out that immediate punch of licorice, but Ooh, boy, licorice root and strawberry tea. That is, ooh, that's something. And,
Sounds terrible.
How does the prince react?
I don't see. I don't licorice root. Like I know what licorice the candy is.
It's the same thing.
yeah, it's like...
Same flavor.
Yeah,
Just like concentrated.
yeah.
Contrary to his normal reservations about drinking, like throughout his travels with everyone, Owen has always been a bit reserved when it comes to drinking alcohol. But this time, even though it's not alcohol, it's a very strong drink. But Owen, this is he drinks this tea the way a Gar would drink a cheap ale. He tastes it, and then a wide smile spreads across his face, and he just knocks it back.
So you're saying he drinks it the same way that Evian and Walker drink cheap ale?
Walker, I want you to give me an insight check real quick.
Yes, sir. One moment, please. I haven't opened Walker's character sheet yet, because I'm an idiot.
While he's doing that, I will say, Ishri, as she drinks it, she goes, "Oh, this might be the best thing I've drank since I've gotten here."
Why is that funny?
Walker, reading your father, he is putting up the most stoic veil he can, but he is looking on in disgust at Owen drinking this.
What the fuck? What were his intentions on serving it if he was going to be upset when Owen drank it?
You're able to put two and two together. He did not make this tea, and he is trying to politely find a way to get rid of it.
Oh my god, he's fucking pouring off tea on us!
I knew it, but I couldn't say anything.
What a
I wasn't
nice
there
guy.
for that conversation.
What a rat.
great.
What a rat.
Yeah, he's doing a good job hiding it, but this is a man who is flabbergasted that anyone could enjoy this. The fact that there are, like, probably more red flags that you're traveling with 2 people who enjoy this than 5 mages.
Oh boy.
We're in deep shit.
And after a moment of enjoying, or politely, air quotes, enjoying the tea, he turns once more to Owen. If the tavern's not to your liking, there's a spare room here for you. That's what you need.
I wouldn't want to impose at all.
Wouldn't be. Not at all. Not even a bit. The least I could do.
Well, as you say, just being here puts you in danger, so...
He motions towards Rom for a second. But you haven't been, on the wrong side of the law just yet. And he emphasizes the yet with a little bit of disdain as she, like, almost like mockingly, like, underlining that she said yet.
Your dad is mean.
You're fucking joking about our lives! Oh boy.
Doesn't everyone?
Otherwise, how long are you all planning on staying here?
Seems like it'll be at least a few days.
Our friend, his father is sick. I aim to change that.
He kind of furrows his brow a bit. That's the, He looks to Walker to make sure the Dorigus farm, correct?
Walker nods.
They seem like fine folk. Never really crossed paths with. Never heard anything bad about them. I hope you can help them. In the meantime, he turns mostly to Evian and Ishri. If you're going to be trying to keep a low profile hideout, given your large statures and such. Rather than hide in a room at an inn all day, you can work for me here. The pay's okay.
Oh, but we'd earn money. Oh, that's exciting.
Ishri's first job.
I don't know if... I don't... As you kind of, like, say that, he tries to address you directly again, but there's a sense of him not knowing how to culturally do that? Because even Walker, like, knows fucking nothing about Ishri's people or anything? And it's just, it's such a blind spot for him that he kind of just waits for a moment, hoping you'll continue?
I would mention that as Papa Walker mentions you should work at the mill for the day because it'd be a better low profile than just sitting at the inn. Walker nods, like completely agreeing.
Would definitely be appreciative of a way to keep under the down low.
But I've never, had coin. This is exciting.
At that, it's again that confused look to Walker. Oh.
Walker has no answer for this.
I'm sure between my boy and Owen, you'll figure things out nice and quick, Mrs. Ishri. Not often we even see elves here in Dreswood, let alone... No offense. As he motions towards you.
I don't know why I'd be offended.
You're, alright. He just kind of goes with it for a second. So. And, he kind of leans back a bit and motions to all of you. I am at least partially in your debts for taking care of Moses. I know he does his fair share, probably more than. I know he's a man who will kill himself to keep his allies, friends, alive. I know he's a man who would forego every earthly pleasure to succeed. And I'll do anything I can to help you while you're here, but the only thing I ask is you promise me that you'll force him to stop every once in a while and relax. He's doing good. He doesn't look you in the eyes this entire time, Walker. He's doing so good. He'll never accept that, I don't think. But what he's doing's enough. So you have to keep reminding him wherever you go. Alright.
I think we can do that.
He kind of like looks to Owen and Ishri for a second. There is more if you'd like more tea.
Oh yes, please. Please, this is fantastic.
As he walks by, he gives like wide eyes to you, Walker, and like does a little whistle. Just quiet enough. Like he looks almost nervous at that as he goes and refills both of your cups.
Walker's previous uncertain face is kind of... It becomes more powerful with that spiel from his father, with eyes actually a little bit wide as well. Like, it's not something Walker expected to hear.
Once his teacup is refilled, Owen will nod his thanks again, and once Cordell is sitting back down, he'll clear his throat and he'll say, "If you don't mind, we did have, well, at least I had a few questions about what you've told Moses."
Emotions, by all means.
I told them this morning. A lot of what you told me. I'd hoped they'd have some kind of answer since Walker kind of just gestures towards them. Mages.
At that, Cordell nods in agreement. Mages. Ask your question. Anything I can do.
Owen holds up his wrist so that Cordell can see the charm that hangs from it. And he points to it with his other hand. Have you ever seen anything like this?
There's a slow blink and a reluctant shaking of the head. No.
What about these? Owen reaches carefully into his bag and produces a thoroughly battered-looking book.
He begins just looking over the book. Which book is this?
It is the decrepit book that I think
The one you found in the
Ian-
tower back at the beginning of the campaign?
Jesus Christ.
Nice.
Fucking A, dude.
Whew, he purses his lips and reluctantly shakes his head again. He looks down and his hair is short, but a little bit of it is sweaty enough to at least fall against his forehead, and he just shakes his head. Hilda, if anyone would know, it would be...
Wife.
He nods. This is his mother.
I don't suppose you know where she is?
He motions to Walker. I think at this point, Moses here knows as much as I do, maybe more.
Walker kind of just breathes out, breathes in. As far as I know, she's somewhere in Garland along the water. Shakes his head. No idea where exactly.
It's all connected. Learned that word, Harus, from the woman who I presume wrote this.
He looks almost pained when you say it, like bringing back bad memories. Like reliving horrible dreams, just when you say it. Oh. I have some things that... Moses, I promised your mother would never need to know about, that you'd be able to live your life, as I said, without thinking about what could have been, just seeing things as... All of this... I don't have... I don't have a... What can I say? He kind of turns to Owen. What could I tell you that would help?
Don't know. Trying to make sense of it all, but there's so much I don't know.
He gives this big, heavy sigh, almost nervous. Steeling himself. Looks to Walker.
Walker
I can't.
meets his gaze.
As he looks to you, he still speaks to Owen for a moment. I can't give you everything, but I can only tell you what I know, what I understand. Moses, we never told you why we're here, why we left. Shakes his head again. I made a promise to Hilda, your mother, because I didn't. She did. I didn't want you to hate her.
Walker looks taken aback. What does that mean?
He begins rubbing his temples, scratches at his head, puts his sweaty hair back. Lines on his face seem to deepen. Her mother was born. This is so... You need to understand. Who she was is not who she is now. He looks almost nervous, like he's rehearsed this, but it's stage time and he's still not ready to say it. She made mistakes. You can't blame her for... He turns to Owen, with only really paying his attention to the other two, like the rest of you aren't even really there. Sir, Mr. McDurk. You have heard of the fall trees, yes?
Have I heard of those?
You have. You have. Something I want.
Hey, I should have wanted to roll for this.
Yeah. No, this is something you would know of. It's very culturally ubiquitous within Garland. It was a trader family, very well known. During the Garsh Independence War, they were this mercantile family empire that sided with Garland, or sided against Garland, despite being... They operated mostly out of Aranova, and they constantly, every step of the way, were against Garland and for Lenore. The equivalent would be like Benedict Arnold.
Can you spell it?
The family name.
That's what I thought.
Once the Independence War was won and Garland had driven Lenorian forces north, eventually setting borders, it was still a number of years before everything was under proper control, that there were people, and there was a strong mob mentality. And the grand majority of the people who worked for this family, the people who were in this family, were obviously based out of Aranova, and many of them were hanged or otherwise put to the block. It was a celebratory time and is something of a minor holiday in Aranova. The same as, what's it called?
St. Patrick's Day?
No, more like Guy Fawkes Day type of thing. Guy Fawkes Night. I apologize. Yeah. The 5th of November, that sort of thing. It's less of a holiday and more of just a celebration, especially within Kinmorn, of getting rid of the last of the traitors, that they became Gars finally with that. The last of the enemies have been defeated, that sort of thing. It was a very important time and a very important event, especially for Kinmorn to be able to deal with. He continues. They were not... He turns to Walker again. Your mother was not... She was born with a... She was born the name Ballast, but... Her grandmother, her mother's mother, was born the name Faltry. And... more than anything... I don't speak to what's right or wrong. I don't speak to anything, but from what Hilda told me, there was no... It was a front. She swears the whole thing was a front, that the family, the empire of the Faltrys were helping Garland all along. And that Kinmorn returned because... He shakes his head. I don't know. I don't know at all. I didn't care about your mother's past, about any of it. Just left her for who she was when I met her. The seeds of hatred in that family for the people who ousted... He shakes his head again. The seeds of hatred for the people who ousted the Faltrys. He motions knowingly to Owen, who you would know this is the way this is going. The people who were very supportive of this, being the Selkor family, who are the heads of Kinmorn. No amount of evidence. It was too important to their identity. It would go on and on. It was too important that they maintain their power. That they do not admit a mistake. He looks sad, crestfallen, lost to say any of this. The way Hilda would speak about it. It wasn't with conviction, it was with regret that she believed so many horrible things. But her belief is that the justice of Garland failed her family. That's what she was told by her mother and her grandmother. Father shakes his head again. All she wanted to do was exact that revenge. She found it. He, at this point, is just looking past all of you. Just like a dam has broken and a weight lifted and almost possessed to tell the story. She found her answer. She found her answer. Spent time with them. Many of the native Gars, the ones that were so effortlessly murdered and dispatched during the Lenorian southern expansions. She found their god, one of their gods, I don't know. They called it, he thinks for a moment, Vatine, the ever-present. And the Harus, where it would listen. She worshipped and prayed. She wanted her revenge. All she was met with was he looks down and blinks away a tear, seemingly aging every minute at this point, more and more. It wasn't until you, Moses, that it wasn't until we started a family that she even thought about it. Those words ring so true. We ran to escape this. Never forget. He thinks, and you can see him reiterating this in his head time and time and time again. It feels like an eternity of him just thinking to himself. Your life is full of bloom. Joy will turn to ashes in your heart. You will understand what you've wrought. He turns to Walker. Moses, you can't. She made mistakes. That's not who your mother is. That's not who she was when I met her. He purses his lips, bites them, licks them, and he repeats those same words, just mouthing them again as he looks down. We understood. And we knew we needed to escape. We needed to get far away from the Harus, the Vatine, the ever-present, whatever the fuck you want to call it. We needed to get far away from it. Our promise was a new life, one without worry, where we could raise a normal family in a house of love and joy. We thought we were safe here. And then he looks down. Roy. He looks up to you, Moses. There's no safety. It is ever present. Your mother's faith in it is nothing but a curse. Please, Moses, don't. Her mistakes.
I don't understand. She sought that being for revenge?
It wasn't her revenge, it was indoctrinated into a family's hatred. Seeds planted at birth. Shakes his head.
Walker's expression of uncertainty and disbelief slowly changes towards his neutral, stone-like expression. Brow furrowed, doesn't say anything else.
I don't. He turns to Owen. What else can I tell you? She understood it better than I ever could. She was the one who... All I can do is reiterate the things I was told, the things I experienced, but... She was the one to live this cursed life, not me.
Sorry to have caused you pain by asking you to relive all of this.
I relive this every day. And he kind of turns to Moses again. Ever since the day we sent your mother and Roy away, I've been questioning if we even made the right decision coming. Just to send them back. All of this money that we're sending, Moses, it's not just going to helping them escape. It's not just that. Arcane protection is so expensive. I could not imagine them being there, close to this Harus, this ever-present being's doorways. Without it, he slumps over and just a second later tries to compose himself and falls back in the chair. I promised her I would never tell you. Purses his lips. This was her story to tell. Our life. It was only arcane clerical protection that let you be Moses. Being it came for you. When you came into the world, it came for you. And we knew no safety there. At that moment, your mother, she understood. Her joy turned to ashes in her heart. Oh, Maidsa. Oh, Maidsa. Sorry.
Walker begins speaking, but grabs his glass and drains it, the rest of the whiskey that was in there. I've been sitting here for too long. I need to go do some work. And Walker promptly gets up and makes to leave.
Owen raises a hand to stop him and then just bites his tongue.
There is no physical response from Cordell. He tries to stand up and just doesn't find the energy. Make sure he's okay, please. And, as I said, you need anything.
Owen gets to his feet. He goes and shakes Cordell's hand again, and then...
It's much weaker back this time. Almost limp.
And then he kind of like he shakes Cordell's hand and then kind of steps past him and jerks his head to everyone else, motioning that we should probably leave now.
Rom stands up and quickly nods and just says, "Well, thank you for your hospitality, Miss Walker. Move,
Nice.
leave, etc."
Yeah, it was nice to meet you.
Do you need help with cleaning up or anything?
I'm alright. He doesn't look up. It'll be fine. I have time.
Before
I don't know.
he leaves the room, Owen says quietly, "Thank you. I'm sure we'll speak again."
If you're looking, you would notice a nod, otherwise no response.
That's it.
When we leave, can we find where Walker has gone off to?
Walker?
Walker's power walk towards the town.
So yes, heading out, you would see him in the distance, heading in the direction of Dreswood proper.
In the direction of the stockade.
Should we follow him to make sure he's all right?
I think so.
Probably.
He might need time alone to come to terms with all he's been told. Didn't
I
seem like he knew
suppose.
any of that.
Makes my family problems seem real simple.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to make sense of, you know. I mean, every Gar has heard the story of Faltry family. I just don't really know what it means for us.
Well, we are headed towards Garland eventually, right?
Aye.
Are we not going? I mean, doesn't Walker want to go there to see his mother and brother, or am my assumption correct?
Maybe he did before, but after what his father just said, who's to say that as soon as he steps on shore, some spirit doesn't whisk him away off into the woods?
I mean, we can stop that.
Yeah, of course we could.
Uh-huh.
Owen looks troubled.
Mari's response was half-assed at best.
I mean, it's
There are some pretty powerful spirits in the world. I'm not certain we could necessarily take all of them.
Yeah.
With our best shot, but
I mean, he has said before that he would do some really stupid things for family. So I have a feeling this may not make him shy away, but I'm not sure. Though it may qualify as stupid, yes.
What Walker does will be up to him. But my plans are unchanged.
Well, I suppose we'd better figure out what we're gonna do right now, at the very least.
Mm-hmm. Got a couple days to figure that out, I suppose.
You guys head back towards town behind Walker, discussing. Walker, where are you going?
Stockade.
You head in and you don't see anyone you immediately recognize, though you haven't interacted with everyone at the Stockade, small as it is. Mostly your contact was Harold Canton. But you see someone in Antier's uniform. An Aasimar woman with short silver hair and a heavy amount of celestial tattoos covering most of her face, but her left cheek mostly clean of them.
Walker barely reacts to this, breathes a very shallow sigh of relief that Canton's not here. He doesn't have to converse with them, and moves to the bounty board.
You see quickly the Aasimar woman, the parent Antier, goes to speak, and then when you move towards the bounty board, says nothing. You head to the bounty board and begin scanning.
Lay it on me.
Wanted. At least 2 adolescents have been seen destroying apiaries and accompanying supplies. Their capture is of the utmost importance. 5 crosses per person caught in the act. See Alderman Jellicoe Weiss at the offices of the Best Buzz Apiary in the Honeyfields. Need able-bodied persons interested in upholding the laws of Solara and Lenore to join the Antellier Brigade. Paid training to begin immediately. Open offer. Able-bodied persons to work at the Walker Family Lumber Mill. Pay of 3 clips per day of work. See Cordell Walker at the aforementioned lumber mill on the Orda-Gift River, or at the nearby home if not at the mill. Need capable warriors to form caravan to safely escort a horse and wagon to Verona. No questions asked. See Octavius Drummond at the southernmost manor near the honey fields. Need able-bodied guards for night shifts in the honey fields. This one seems older and like it's been unpinned and repinned many times. Tattered up in the top third. See Eugene Mill, or no, I'm sorry, see Alderman Jellicoe Weiss at the offices of the Best Buzz Apiary. Need swimmer or swimmers to recover lost ore in Orda-Gift River. Offer of 20 crosses. See Eugene Mill at the 4th house down the 2nd street, west off the main road. Need exterminator and carpenter. There's an underline under and. To repair basement damage and deal with rat infestation. Offer of 5 crosses immediately after job is done, 5 crosses a week later. See Valerie Tallstock at the 3rd house, south of the Plaid Needle at any time, day or night. And open offer, weapons and armor, any quality, coin paid out immediately.
Doing guard work isn't exactly going to put bread on the table. Maybe finding some kids would be easy enough, but I imagine they're not. With all the guards I already have there, they're probably not doing as much as before. Extermination.
Extermination and carpenter. They need both.
That'd be easy with magic. Who was, can I get the text for the extermination one?
It is...
And the one for the Verona one.
Which one?
Verona.
The escort one. For context, you would know that even if it's a no questions asked thing, the Intellier still had to approve it being up, and they probably asked some questions, so... Like... It's at least above board as far as...
The brigade is concerned.
As far as the brigade, like... If they got caught smuggling shit or doing something illegal, you have the paperwork to prove that it's not on you and you were just doing your job. Uncommon, but not incredibly rare. Sometimes it's just people being paranoid about what they have, other things. You never know. The Antir speaks up as you're kind of pulling them off and reading them. A couple of them in particular. And is there, something you need help with?
Walker makes to respond immediately, but just sighs. Just trying to find some work.
Alright. Gives a little half smile and almost... She's definitely in tune enough, insightful enough to kind of like... She gets something's off here and leaves you to it.
Let's see here.
The rest of you were following after him? Given that Walker is not attempting to be stealthy, following him and knowing where he's going is not difficult. Eventually getting to the stockade, would you all go in? Would some of you go in?
Are we gonna mob these guys like we do every other business?
This is a very small stockade. Not the smallest you've been in. That would probably be...
Arya.
We didn't. Did we go to the stockade?
You never.
Walker did.
Yeah. Arya would have been the smallest. Arya and probably Cole would have been the two smallest.
We spent a considerable time at the coal one.
Yeah. It's not quite that small, but it's still a one-story building with a small like basement jail. Yeah, so you guys know where he has went? What are you doing?
Gonna glance around at the squad. And are we all gonna go in there? Or-
I probably should not.
I think just one of us.
I'm still of the opinion that he should have some time alone to process, but
Could at least ask him.
I'll stay outside with Evian.
I'll go in. And Amari goes in.
You sure look everywhere. Is it stupid of me to go in?
Might not be the best idea.
Okay. She puts her cloak up and kind of tries to hide in a corner.
Outside?
Outside.
Hide in a corner inside the stockade.
You guys don't.
Yeah, so a couple of moments later, Walker, as you're going over them, just trying to do your best to work and do business as usual. You hear the door open again, and out of the corner of your eye, you see the familiar face of Amari coming in.
Hey,
Walker glances over, but quickly looks back down at the paper he's reading.
Walker, do you need some time? Or you good?
Time, I need money.
Oh, Walker.
Well, we're always gonna be around to help you out with that.
And now Rom is inside.
Yeah, apparently Rom's inside now.
Didn't I say that I went in? Didn't I? Or was that just in my brain? Was that
I
just
think
in
that
my
was in your
brain that
brain.
I said that?
I think that was in your brain. You said that.
Well, Rom's in there now. Rom's in there now.
Oh gosh, she's like invisible half the time.
I'm
It's
sorry.
always in my blind spot.
Someone so tall.
It's
she's
always
sure
weird
it's
that she can be in
always in my
anyone's blind spot ever. Anyway.
So Amari and Rom step in. Walker glances at them both, but looks down at his paper. And what did Amari say originally?
Do you need some time, or are you okay?
And it was, I don't need time. I just need money.
And then Rom said,
Then Rom said, we're always around to help you out and in that. Is anything good posted?
Walker shakes his head. Small jobs. Nothing suitable for a group. Walker hands over one of the papers for the exterminator and carpenter wanted job. This could be easy enough, depending.
Sounds a bit up your alley. Unless there's a lot of rats. It was rats, right?
Does say
Mhm.
rats.
I'm sorry?
"Who was rats?" Is what
Yes,
she
it was
asked.
rats.
God, this got a dour opening to the session. My bad.
Just Walker
Oh,
just
God.
stares at it before shaking his head, putting it back up.
Rom scans the board.
Ben, can you just post
And-
all of them?
No problem.
Yeah.
I will post the entire thing. I even took a screenshot of my full-on bounty board formatting for you all.
Oh.
What a nice guy.
Yeah. It was less effort.
Oh!
Alex did the patented
He read or, and I assumed or with an A.
What?
That's what I
other-
assumed too.
Yeah, wait, what other ore is it?
Or with
Like-
It's fucking like it's iron ore.
Oh!
like metal rock.
Copper lost ore!
That's why I posted in the chat. Why is this ore worth so much money?
Oh my god! That's so fucking wild.
I was thinking, you're not alone in this boat. I'm in there too.
The boat, the one that lost the ore? Good shit.
We lost
So
the ore.
fucking funny.
I literally thought the same thing, but I didn't want to sound like an idiot, so I didn't say anything. I was like, yeah,
It was a family heirloom that they used to get upriver. Oh.
It's a magical ore, also called a staff sometimes.
Oh my god.
oh my lord.
My-
Don't act all high and mighty, throat boy.
my.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Alex gets Rom gets very impressed that it's about the type of ore, and then Walker puts the puts the last paper down.
Well, are we eventually heading off to Verona? Is that going to be one of our stops?
Maybe. I don't really have any desire to go there.
There is that one thing that she said that we need to investigate.
Well, I suppose we can bring it up with everybody else.
Walker does grab the find the night hooligans mission.
Find the night hooligans, alright?
Yeah, puts it away. Can I get the exact text for that one?
It's
The copy pastable one.
Oh.
Some petulant youths.
Do you need the copy pastable one about joining the Entelier?
Thankfully not.
I mean, we could all just give up on our dreams and, join the Sun's Chosen. I bet they.
Yeah, we could all give up on our lives and join the army.
They'd probably
Yeah,
accept us.
Pay for college?
Like Ryan. Is that too much? Might be too much.
Leave him alone.
Listen, I didn't know he was joining the Marines until recently.
It's the
The
Navy.
Navy.
He's joining
Not the
something.
Navy!
I mean, it's not the chair force, but it's close.
Nice,
Oh,
nice
man.
little relics.
I'm doing
Anyway.
Walker puts that one away in his bag. Something else to do. And he starts walking out.
As he does.
No real
As
line
the other
for-
two of you are kind of the anterior again. Hi, there's something you need help with, or also just looking for?
Just looking.
That's about the size of it.
She nods and starts to sit back down in her desk. Alright, sorry, I'm getting a strange... She kind of motions back and forth. Strange energy here.
It's fine. Don't worry
Strange
about
day.
it. Yeah.
Just kind of nods and sits back down.
Well, I guess we, leave?
You guys head
Head on
outside
out.
where, Walker, you see the rest of your allies waiting for you.
You okay there, Walker?
Walker, maybe.
I was muted. while making a joke. I'm sorry. So what happened? So I walked out.
You walk out, and everyone else
around.
is there waiting for you. Not
Owen
not
said-
crowding or anything, but they're all around.
And then Owen said,
He asked if he was okay.
"I'm fine." Argus kind of stands there awkwardly for a few moments.
Do you want to be alone?
No, It's not. Walker just stops talking because he doesn't know how to answer that question.
Do you want to keep busy? Go hunting or something?
Yeah, there's... Walker looks at Ishri for a second. Yeah, there's things we should do. Ishri, come with me.
She just nods. Goes with.
Walker's just gonna start moving off. Let's go back to hell. Things made more sense there.
No, that's 2 in the back of the head to Amari.
Oh shit. Well, what if Walker got his blood arrows again and then hit up Ishri? Well,
Do you really want this more max HP?
I don't know.
If it makes everything easier, yeah. If it makes things less confusing.
So I guess Walker and Ishri
combats
walk
a week.
off. Does anyone else do anything?
Stand there awkwardly, wondering what we should do next.
Bitch, you have calls to make.
I do, and I've been trying to figure out how I need to have Owen say it, but I can't say.
You have a spare room to use at a mill. And one of you has an offer for a job at the mill.
2, technically. Ishri does
2
as well.
technically, but one's
Yeah,
busy.
but he yoinked it.
But also, technically, it's an open offer, so if y'all want to work the mill for a couple days...
That'd be really funny.
I can speak English. Meanwhile, Rum
Very
fills
cool.
everyone else in about the possible jobs. If you want to go swimming, can make some money, etc.
Why do they need? Why do they? How did they drop a Botar?
Like rocks, the ones you turn into metal.
Why would you make an aura?
Avian, I don't have the time nor the patience to explain this to you. I'm sure everyone else understands.
If you wait until, or if we wait until tomorrow, I can, depending on where it is, might be able to help with that.
Well, it's 20 crosses. It's not nothing. I just ain't doing it. I don't. I'm not. a
Don't
fan
want to
of
get your
it.
hair wet?
I don't like it. Okay.
Can I swat Evian?
Reminder, Rom has a fear of drowning.
Yep, she does.
What a fuckhead.
So, Walker, you walk off with Ishri.
Taking her to the local tailor.
Back to the Plain Needle. You would know that while the Plain Needle has been open for a hot minute, for the most part, there was no specific tailor, and the general store also doubled as a tailor, but, you know, there is one, and yeah.
Walker would explain as like they're getting there that
Sorry, Flat Needle. Reading wrong.
didn't think of it before, but it'd be better if you had traveling clothes that were made here.
I actually was actually going to go here as soon as I got money. Owen and Amari kind of well, they made the owner cry. So I was
Walker
thinking.
scowls.
So
What?
yes. So maybe this is good that I'm procuring some things from her. Or maybe you could have them. I don't know.
Right. Let's just focus on this for now. We'll have that conversation with them later.
She just nods and keeps silent unless he starts talking to her first.
And Walker goes in the building.
The same girl. Young, maybe 20. Poofy strawberry blonde hair. A lot of it. Very poofy. And the very taken care of bangs and friendly smile. Just kind of...
How much would Walker assume traveling clothes are?
Like, you mean like just a basic set of traveling clothes?
Yeah. I don't know what that would include, to be honest.
I mean, are we talking like the whole kit and caboodle? Or just a jacket? Like, do we want to get her boots? Do we want to get her a nice new cloak?
Well, the basics of what is needed. Like, she has a cloak, so that's not needed.
Yeah.
Whatever, like, that she has currently, that can be interchanged for something that's made here.
So, alright. So, a nice, like, probably a leather belt, a nice, like, button-up, like, flax-esque shirt, maybe a jacket and boots, things that show I'm a regular person who lives here. I am not from another plane of existence.
Does her armor stand out at all?
In the sense that it looks incredibly battle-worn. Like, she wears the armor of someone who has seen many battles.
Well, Walker doesn't have money to fix that, and also that makes sense if she's with a group that is bounty hunters.
Yeah, it is very well upkept though. But yeah, it looks
Lots
like
of
forged, reforged, and yeah.
Lots of scratches and nicks and dings and things like that were tarnished, that sort of thing.
So how much do I think that would be then?
Fixing that?
No, the fucking clothes.
Probably between, for the whole kit and caboodle, probably between 1 to 2 crosses if we're talking about, stuff that's gonna last.
Yeah, 2 crosses is fine. Right. So does she say something as Walker walks in?
Hi there. She looks almost nervous as she sees Ishri for a second and, like, looks over her shoulder a bit. Hi there.
Hello.
Yeah, hi. She needs new traveling clothes. Walker quickly produces 2 crosses and puts them on the counter.
We heard you were fantastic, really.
She gets a warm smile and almost gets, like, a little embarrassed, like, a little red in the cheeks. And
Walker
she begins
has not heard any such thing, and that shows on his face.
She just kind of begins rambling and bumbling around. I don't know about that. I mean, I'm pretty good, but I don't know if I'm fantastic. She kind of pauses for a second. Who said I'm fantastic?
Oh, well,
I don't know.
I'm not from around here, but just people, just people.
Walker looks
as she begins walking to the back. Like, there's not a lot of room. There's not a lot on display. It's very much think like a small little, like, outlet store in an outlet mall where, like, it's crammed between 800 others and it probably goes further back than it is wide. There's not a lot of obvious things on display. And she as she heads into the back, oh, people are starting to say I'm good and fantastic. Oh, I'm so exciting. Oh, I don't want to fuck it up. Don't want to fuck it up. Can't do it wrong. You kind of hear as she mutters into the back.
Walker's already getting sick of interacting with this person. He'll look to Ishri. Let me know if anything happens. And he'll step outside, bring out some wood, and start whittling.
Ishri's alone for the first time since the shadow fell.
All by herself.
Is it? Can Ishri discern why she looked immediately towards the back?
Because you were with people who she had a very strange interaction with last time.
Cool. Let's make sure she wasn't, like, hiding someone back there. I don't know.
No, to the back is like... As in, like, behind you, like, out the door.
Oh,
yeah.
oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Like, past you, like, oh.
That would be the front, typically, then.
I'm sorry, I meant to the back of you guys.
Mm.
Hey, there's a lot I'm juggling this session.
Normal people would say behind you. Anyway.
I'm not gonna make that joke because I have more respect for you than that. Anyway,
Kill me, Dad.
A few minutes later, she comes out still kind of embarrassed, like, she's got some red freckles. They're almost invisible because she's still kind of, like, peachy rosy in the cheeks and kind of, like, comes out and she places, like, you know, this nice 2 separate belts. One's a little bit wider, the other one's a little bit thinner. The wider one looks a little more hardy, whereas the thinner one looks new and unused. She has a set of there's some nice, if average, boots. Again, leather. A couple extra sets of cording you can see tied onto one side of it. So you've got some extra laces. A small jacket, not a full-on cloak to cover yourself, but just a small jacket for, you know, dealing with elements and things. And
Looking cool.
yeah, looking cool is very important as well. And then there is what looks like a dark green, almost like halfway between like a dark green and a brown, like a very earthy green wool-looking skirt and leather, like almost like leather or leather-colored breeches or leggings or some such. She produces it all and just kind of motions for a moment. Very quickly, she produces you 3 clips and 6 cents for change.
Oh, Walker left the money with. Okay, yeah. Thank you. She looks at the coins a little confusedly.
That's your change for the man who came in here.
Oh, yes, of course. Obviously, yes, of course.
Are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine. Yes. Yeah. Just excited, you know, excited to get some new clothes. I mean, you see what I'm wearing right now.
Guy cocks her head to the side and smiles. Yeah, I understand. Hope you have, if you need anything else, you know where to come. She kind of looks at your current clothes. If you need any of that repaired, I can see what I can do if you've got a couple days. Yeah.
Oh.
And she gives another little smile.
Sure. And she begins taking her clothes off the hand of the woman.
She starts to talk and then just kind of doesn't say anything and... just kind of mouth agape for a second, just, okay, I didn't realize you need it done now. How quickly do you need this done in?
I believe a few days. I believe we'll be in town for a few days.
Okay.
She looks totally chill with this whole situation.
Sure. Her face is completely red at this point.
And she just puts on the new clothes before she walks out.
Oh. They'll be ready for you in a couple days. I'll do my best. I'm sorry. I forgot your name again.
Eastry. The name is Eastry.
Oh, your change. And she quickly hands you, like, bends over the counter and hands you your change.
Thank you. She heads out.
And Walker, a longer time than you would expect goes by before Ishri comes out in different clothing.
Was there a changing room in there?
No. It was like think about like the lobby at like a Little Caesars or like a fucking one of those to-go places. There's a couple of mannequins and some shelves. Other than that, there's a back room and a fucking and like a shelf behind the counter.
The fact that you had to use fucking Little Caesars just
hang on. Before I get to Walker's reaction to seeing Ishri wearing new clothing.
By the way, she's wearing a fucking skirt now too, which is very different.
That's not traveling clothing.
It is.
Is it?
Yeah, there's like breeches, like almost like leather-colored leggings under it.
All right, as long as
it works.
Yeah,
whatever.
Ishri might notice the walker is carving a piece of wood. It looks like a small figurine of a man holding a sword aloft. It seems like it's not quite done yet. But as Walker looks over, he scowls immediately, begins putting his things away. Did you use a changing room?
A what?
Walker doesn't know how to respond to that.
What is it that you're carving?
Something for later. Ishri, if you're going to be changing your clothes in town, you'll need to do so away from other people.
Oh, okay. She just offered to repair the clothing that I was wearing. I thought that was really nice of her, so I gave her the clothes to repair.
She's going to expect you to pay for that.
Oh, I forgot about that.
You for
about the paying for it. Well, here is your money. And she hands you back your change. And I suppose I can pay her after working at the mill.
I don't remember.
Fuck, dude.
I believe it was 3 clips, 2 clips and 4 cents. Oh. I lost my train of thought after that. Oh, things went off the rails a bit.
I'm sure working at the mill should help there. If you do that, make sure you take Evian. Try not to be alone, especially while you're here.
Of course. Yeah. I'm okay with not being alone.
Walker's beginning to regret even more of his choices and lack of foresight. Anyway, that's done. Don't... Two crosses for an outfit is a decent amount. But you should consider it a gift. You have no way of knowing this, but right before we got dragged to your world, there was a holiday around here, the Day of Soul. Usually people give gifts around then. Anyway, it's just an excuse to get drunk. But here are the excuses for you to get a new outfit. Excuse to get yourself a much-needed new outfit. You'll blend in much better having something that's made here.
Thank you. It's really kind of you that you're giving me this. Are you sure you don't want... well, I don't have money, but I could perform a service. I believe that's how it works. Or I have some goods that I could provide you with, if you would like.
Like I said, consider it a gift.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
By the way, when I trailed off there, that wasn't Walker trailing off. I was losing my train of thought. Anyway. Man, what the fuck are you doing?
What are you talking about? I'm sitting here.
Fuck you. Anyway,
That's gonna be really weird on the recording when you have nowhere just start insulting
fuck
me
you.
out.
I don't. Listen, that's not out of character. Firstly, secondly.
That was in character as Walker? Is that?
Directed at Ishri?
No, it's in character for William. It's in character for William.
You're not
Did you hear
playing
that,
William, you're
Hannah?
playing Walker!
Fuck you!
Did you hear that?
I play William all the time.
you.
Wild.
Anyway, so, I think what Walker's doing next. Anyway, you should go find the others and do whatever. I'm gonna go, find some work. Walker starts walking away.
You are, before, like, she kind of, like, catches up with you are okay, though? You sure you don't...
Fine.
I mean, if you want to be alone, I 100% understand, but if you would like company, I can provide that. As a gift?
God damn it, Hannah, you fucking...
The thing is, she's not even role-playing Ishri, this is just Hannah.
Hannah doesn't understand money or, not changing it.
I
so
once
good at it.
changed into just an outfit that was on the rack in an old Navy.
All the time, yeah.
God, I have to fucking think of a Walker response to that.
Oh my god.
You can follow me if you want. I'm just going to do some hunting.
Does Ishri think Walker wants company?
Give me an insight check.
Thanks.
Your call, Walker.
I'm gonna send you a thing, man.
Okay. I was just gonna let you do it, but... you have no idea if he wants to be, like, you can't tell. Like, from what you've seen, he's generally a pretty calm and reserved person. Right now, it's like, it's not a matter of not being able to read him, it's a matter of you have no idea what the fuck. It doesn't seem like you can't tell if he wants to be alone or not. Or if he thinks he wants to be alone or not. It's completely a mess.
Well, I, for one, don't want to be alone on the walk back to the group. So I'll go with you for now. And if you want to get rid of me, just say the word. I'll leave. And she follows Walker.
Walker's not replying, but does head out to the woods. Time for some fucking hunting. Time for some fucking panicking!
And for once, while this is happening, she doesn't ask questions, she doesn't say anything unless she is spoken to first. She's just there.
Meanwhile, as Ishri and Walker head off to hunt, and Walker tries to get his mind of other things, the rest of you going a separate way from Walker as he heads off from the with Ishri from the stockade. What are you guys doing?
Has it been a week since we since Owen ventured into Fort Siege?
You mean since
we got the horses back?
It has not.
Last
been a
session,
week
he
yet.
said it was about a week.
It's been almost. It's been 1, 4, 5, 6. It's been about 7 days, 6.5, 7 days. A week is 8, so almost a week.
Fuck. No. It has to be today. Standing outside of the stockade, Owen watches Walker and Ishri kind of recede down the street, and he looks around at everyone else and says, he's going to be alright, I hope. I need to send a few messages.
Are you gonna go somewhere special to do that, or?
No, the changing room right here will work. I apologize. I couldn't help myself.
Ven, how far is the mill from town?
It's not incredibly far. It's like a 5-10 minute walk. Like, you can see it. It's the
Right along the river?
Walker family mill. Yeah, it's along the river, so it's like on the other side from most of the stuff. But, like, you can always see it from everywhere. It's not a large town, but it is the second largest landmark of the town, if you will, behind only the honey fields. 5-10 minute walk or so.
I'd like to roam, but I don't want to be, hanging around the mill. They seem a bit strange. I
Well,
don't really know where else to go.
what if a couple of us go work today? Wouldn't be that weird then, right?
Owen looks a little bit uncomfortable. He kind of shifts his feet a little bit, and then he looks away and he says, don't want to exert myself too much in the hopes that perhaps tomorrow my magic will return.
Fair enough.
There's so much to say to so many. But I'm sure Cordell would, he'd be glad for the help.
What about the rest of you?
I would be more than happy to have something to do. And seeing as I have no magic, I can exert myself blunt.
So you're all heading towards the mill?
Evian is.
I guess?
Sure.
Someone say home base.
Alright. The rest of you... Alright. Simon heads to the Doragas family farm to catch up with his brother Christian. Simon, you would note after a little while that he's not there, and probably a little while after you arrive, he would show up and explain that he went to the Bee's Knees to try and find you, and you haven't been there all day. Eventually, you guys would get spend the rest of the day, or however long you like, catching up, and he would go into details of how things have ebbed and flowed, how having a farm means that, if nothing else, at least the family can survive. Not thriving, not making as much on the excess production as in the past, but still able to survive and making decent enough coin to afford extra help and go on vacation and the like. He is incredibly appreciative of your return and the surprise. He regales you in many of the what he sees as very exciting stories of his days, which pale in comparison to the life that you have led. Interjecting constantly about what kind of magic can you do. You're really a soul strider, almost unbelieving throughout. He has sent the letter out. It's not instant, doesn't know when they'll be back, hopefully within... I mean, it's only a day and a half or so's travel between Dreswood and Sharondale, so it shouldn't be too long, but it is a matter of how quickly they get it, and how quickly they can pack up, come back. In all likelihood, they will probably send a return letter. So, with that, the rest of you head back to the mill. Evian, you're going to be working for the day?
Yes, sir.
Alright. It is at this point considered a half day, and as such, payment will only be 1 clip 5 cents.
Evian will refuse.
That's not an option.
What?
Refusing is not an option.
Like, choose not to work?
No, refusing payment.
Oh.
Yeah.
How is that not an option?
Can we play this out? Does he go talk to Papa Walker? Is Papa Walker
so
like out
you had he
working
is not outside. You guys arrive in, and he has cleaned up, seemingly back to his old self. He's organized everything, and he kind of, after a moment, like, you knock and he opens the door and Is he alright?
I believe he just needs a little.
He kind of nods. I understand. So, what did you all need?
I was looking to take you up on your where?
He nods a bit. Looks to everyone else.
Same for me, I suppose.
He looks with a curious glance at Amari. He continues staring. He mutters something under his breath.
Stare.
After a moment, you hear, what is it, Alex's turn right now?
I'm not allowed to do that, then.
Imagine making meta jokes as the DM.
Anyway. Stares for a moment. He then looks to Owen, kind of confused, and looks back to it, like, he raises an eyebrow while looking at Owen, and then turns his gaze back to Amari.
I'm sorry, I got lost in the sauce. Who's asking again?
Papa Walker!
Oh, Papa Walker.
He's asking if you're gonna work like the others.
I was just making sure I understood what was going on right, and I didn't want to say anything stupid. But it happened anyway, so it's fine. Amari just kind of flexes his, like, not really strong arms. He says, I can give it a try, if you'd like.
Half day, half pay.
Alright.
They'll tell you what to do.
Half day no pay. We don't need any payment. You are already providing us a.
Shut up, you're getting paid. You do work, you get paid.
Just nods.
I'll do my best.
Alright.
He kind of pauses for a second and looks to Owen. You as well, then.
Well, no, actually, I was hoping you wouldn't mind if I take a ride through your forest.
There's a sense of, like, you get that same kind of, oh, this is some weird magic shit kind of feeling. Like, it's how he seems to be justifying everything weird that you guys do right now, is he kind of gives that same kind of vibe that Walker does when you guys are talking about magic. He just kind of, by all means. Anything you need, mister. And he gives a little half bow, like Dirk.
Oh, and damn it. Owen smiles at him and he says, "You have my thanks, Mr. Walker."
He kind of purses his lips and... You guys head out?
Mm-hmm.
As you are all heading out, Owen, you have free reign of the grounds owned by the Walker family. Amari, Ram, Evian, you begin to head out, and Evian, one moment. A moment of your time before you'd go.
Of course.
I know that every one of you has done a lot to save each other. I know that you and Moses are not powerful mages like the rest, but you seem confident enough to hold your own.
I try my best. I've gotten this far without magic gear. I should hold up alright for a little while longer at least.
You try your best. He kind of gives this half nod. One of the first things my boy said. Don't get on the wrong side of the law. Proceed to get into bar fights. Punch your allies in broad daylight. But more than anything, you risked everything to help you guys get out of this country on a job. And you proceeded to risk it all on an attack.
If this is just going to be a lecture, I'm going to leave right now. You can keep that to yourself.
You walk out of here. I don't ever want to see your face again.
Evian will raise an eyebrow.
Let me make this very clear. You heard what happened. I have given up a lot for my family. Moses is a very competent person at many things. He knows who to trust and who not to, or so I thought, and I really hope that his intuition is as strong as it seems to be. Because if he's wrong about you, if you are his downfall, I will hunt you across the entirety of this country and the next. I will not stop until you have paid your fucking debt. Don't risk that again. Do you understand?
There's going to be quite a long line if you want to make that.
And I will be the first one. And there is
Sure you will.
a damn soul in this country. That country, there's not a damn thing that would stop me.
Your threat does not scare me, but
I'm not trying to scare you, I'm making a promise.
I won't be his downfall. You don't need to worry about it.
He says nothing else and motions you out the door. You guys head to begin a half day's work at the mill. Owen, you head towards the forest. Much like we lost Logan, who was at least half here, if not muted, we now lose Evian, who... Thank you for joining us for as long as you could tonight. These off sessions are always trying, but enjoyable.
Have a good night, guys.
See ya.
Nighty.
Owen, you head to get some privacy.
Owen spends a good amount of time just walking amongst the trees, kind of repeating what he did in the clearing. Less singing now, just more listening and feeling. But eventually he picks a spot. The spot itself doesn't matter, just, a stump or a rock, somewhere where he's surrounded by nothing but living, growing things. And he sits down and, crosses his legs and closes his eyes and prays for a little bit. He asks questions in his prayers about all that he has learned today, not expecting an answer, but asking all the same. And after he's done with that, Owen will gather his thoughts and he will cast a spell of sending. He focuses on Marquez and to the woods around him. He asks the questions. Any news of our way to Garland? A time, a place? There's like a pause in the sentence, and then hesitantly, Do you know where Walker's family is? Another pause. Remember, 25 words or less.
I want to try my best to do a genuine response to this. Do you have that written out for me?
Yeah, I put it
in-game.
in the in-game.
So Nick, when did you write that out?
I wrote it. I wrote most of it before the session, and then I took some stuff out and added another thing.
I wonder which.
There is a pause, and you begin to hear that echo almost through the trees, and the breeze meets your hair, and as if the voice brought to you by nature itself. The sounds of Marquez. I have contacted them. North edge of the Styries Forest. There are these constant pauses as he gets vaguely almost you get that sense that he's actually trying to, he gets it. He
What a
has
lad.
probably, he's trying.
Man, you hated him.
Hate's a strong word.
My vocabulary is swole.
I wish you could hear, the pause where he's outside of his head trying to translate between two calendars right now.
I imagine he's counting on his fingers.
Yeah. And, the 6th of Lepta, first week of Steadfast. And no, I do not. And that's about what you get.
Alright, mission success.
So you got that.
Do I know when that date is in relation to what day it is right now?
The 6th of Lepta, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is just over 6 weeks away.
6 weeks!
Oh man, almost like you said it'd take a month after we contacted.
How long is a month? 4 weeks?
A month is 1, 2, 3, 4. A month is 5 weeks.
I didn't know
it's
that.
a little over a month. It will almost be autumn by the time you get out. You will be. Yeah.
Well, having learned precisely what he wanted with only one sending.
I like how you chose him first just in case.
Well, I had to choose him first because if I choose somebody else first, I can't give them information that they might need.
Ah. Okay.
So I think for the rest of today, oh man, that's gonna hurt me. I think for the rest of the day, literally all day, with a smile on his face and a heart that has been considerably lightened, Owen will pace through the trees, singing as he goes. His song is very similar to what it has been before, but this time his voice it's got a different pitch to it. It's deeper. It almost resonates among the trunks, and he does his best to imbue the forest around him with as much power as he can. and he will be spending the entire day casting plant growth.
All right.
Oh god. Here you go.
Oh fuck! What? Holy shit!
Sorry,
What?
I forgot how you disable that before I cast the spell.
That's fine.
All of Lenore becomes
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
fucking lusher.
Lenore is just a fucking jungle now. Oh. Alright. You cast
Isn't
plant
it the
growth.
8-hour version? You have to
What was-
cast for 8 hours?
Yeah, he stays spending the rest of the day.
It's the last paragraph.
Yeah.
Even what was the response of Marquez again?
He gave the time, the date, the location,
Which is here.
yes, which would be the northern edge of the Styrus Forest. On the 6th, Lepta, in the first week of Steadfast, which is about 6 weeks away. And I don't believe he had a definitive answer for knowing where Walker's family is.
He said, and no, I do not.
Yeah.
Right.
So, with that, Owen, you into the late hours of the night grow this field and imbue it with all of this power for a successful harvest for the next year. How far is that? What's the radius on it?
It's a half-mile radius.
Half mile, okay. Damn, that is going to be... there are going to be some fucking trees straight out of the Felrow North that are going to be going crazy, too. Alright. With that, I ask you, for the crew of Rom, Evian, and Amari. Rom and Amari, you guys finish up your work for the day. Do you have anything in particular you need to do? Evian is doing his best to keep a low profile, working, and you get your one clip 5 cents.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
It is, for the most part, being told by, you know, your everyman, like, backwoods, kind of, not redneck, but simple, common people. They're telling you the best way to lift logs. At one point, they put, like, they're obviously, like, going easy on Rob because she's a woman, and there's not a lot of women who work here. Whereas Amari, they've got you, like, chopping the wood, like, taking the chunks and chopping them on a block, and, like, your arms... Give me a Constitution check.
I saw it coming.
You do as well as could be expected from a man who is... He's in decent shape, but, like, this is... Oh, God, like, very quickly, your arms are getting tired, and you're like... Holy shit, this is a workout. Like, fucking, you've just, all of the muscles in your upper arm, like from your shoulder to your elbow, everything is just burning from chopping all of these logs. It seems that some of the shittier cuts are in fact turned into firewood. And you are eventually, as the sun begins to set, you are explained that you just chopped about a month's worth of firewood for Cordell.
No problem.
Rom, you are... People are very nice to you, and they don't... Like, anytime it's like, all right, we need to lift this one up and get right into there so we can get that saw going, and, you know, you're like, all right, and, like, you have 4 guys helping you lift it, and you don't even really have to do anything.
Men.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Walker, go ahead and give me a survival check.
Gotcha.
Is Ishri helping at all?
Is she?
I mean, yeah.
Give me a survival check as well.
There'd be a fair amount of moving outside of town, looking for something good.
Real quick, Ben, what you said, like that Owen's work takes him into the night. I thought it was like mid-morning when we...
I figured by the time you guys were done with everything probably was about noon, so it would be after dark, like 8 o'clock when you were done.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how I was kind of guesstimating time in my head.
As far as I'm aware, Walker showed up at the inn around 8 or 9. We kind of chilled out. We had breakfast, so that's like another half hour. That'd be, 10, 11. Go to the mill, talk to Papa Walker. I mean, we'd be done.
And then you meandered around town for a bit.
Yeah, honestly, that's kind of generous.
So I figured, it was around noon, so it would be just after dark that you'd probably be getting done. I mean, as long as you're not being weird and, like, dancing with a lantern, something that people are gonna, mess with, then nobody's gonna care or notice.
No dancing. Yeah. Only singing.
For Walker and Ishri, your hunt takes you far into the Felrow North, maybe an hour or two, and you quickly find tracks of what looks like a nice buck.
During the hunt, Walker carries himself as he normally does, as if nothing had ever happened.
And eventually you get it in your sights, and I want you to give me an attack roll on this one.
Wait, I forgot to wear Owen's
made
orange hunting vest. Don't shoot me, please.
Oh no!
What a good attack!
No
Alright, please roll damage for Owen. Now, roll damage for Owen's deity.
Oh my. It could be better.
But you do, you hit it and it kind of like, it rears up. This thing's like, this is a fucking tough buck. And it rears up and immediately like, just kind of, and you have this moment where, you're doing your best to, you're working. You're trying to keep everything out of your head and go through the motions of things that are normal. And you have this moment after you shoot it and it doesn't go down clean. Like, that was a clean shot, but it's not down. It's still going. And, you're going to have to follow up. And there's just this moment where you can remember your father when he was still teaching you to hunt. And you have that kind of echo of him telling you, no, you don't. When you hit it, you finish it off. You don't let it go and die and go to waste. You eventually,
of course,
very quickly,
ambush kicks in,
are able to finish it off. Yeah. Shortly after, with Ishri's help, as she watches you, she is able to follow more tracks shortly after, and by sundown, you guys have a massive buck, one of the largest you've ever seen, and also a very large buck to return with. Ishri, you, for the first time in your life, see these vaguely horse-like, but with protruding, ridiculously complicated and convoluted horns, animals that Walker seems unafraid of and is hunting.
Yeah, go.
Like, as soon as we got the deer together, or bucks together, Walker is setting up a fire.
Ishri is trying her damnedest to just respect Walker's desire to be quiet and just be there. So she is just, every once in a while, she just, looks at, the deer, and then, out into the forest, and, her hand is, half on her sword. She's a little, on edge, a little bit, but she's not asking questions about it. She's just going to accept it. And once Walker starts working, she'll just help out, and she'll realize there's no danger.
We'll be making pemmican out of these. Walker says, as he starts cutting into one of the deer, beginning to butcher it. Do you need any rolls for that then?
No.
Okay.
You guys are competent enough and much busier with other things, but you spend the evening with you butcher it and begin the horribly disgusting ability to very efficiently create garbage food paste.
All right. I'm gonna fucking pull you back on that one. Pemmican isn't a bad food, especially for survival rations. Like, it's actually better than, like, jerky, as far as taste goes. Because it's fat, salt, and,
I'm gonna disagree. I've went to the store and bought beef jerky. I've never went to the store and bought beef pemmican.
The beef jerky you buy in stores is not the same as what we're making out here on the range.
Oh, well. I bet the pemmican isn't either.
What are you on about?
Just saying.
Anyway, Walker explains that pemmican is a survival ration similar to jerky. By combining the fat with the ground dried meat, it stays much fresher, it becomes hydrophobic, and does not go bad for a significant amount of time. He explains that it can keep up to 2 to 3 months if kept in a watertight bag.
This is very useful. And if you ever need help with food, you can always just ask as well. But this is much more safer, and we won't get caught.
What do you
It's not
mean?
with magic. Well, it's not with magic, you know. You don't want to be overly reliant on magic, right? It's good that I know this, and not just simply that I can, purify everything that I come across to make it edible. It's better to not be reliant, you know?
Nothing really. You don't really need to purify things here, Ishri.
I mean, I know, but to make it last, you know?
Does that
This
make it
works too.
last?
I don't know.
That's really funny. It's pretty funny. Yeah. Best to stay away from that if you can. Walker's demeanor shifts a bit at that. Back to the slightly uncertain expression, but he quickly gets back to work, making a fuckload of pemmican.
By the time you're done, you have 2 very good buck pelts, and as you described, a fuckload of pemmican.
Can I get a number on that, Dad? I think you gave me 26 for the capybara I got a while back.
Yeah, no. I'm going to say total is 120 days worth of pemmican.
Nice. Let me find my fucking rations.
You know what? Let me go ahead and...
It's a lot more than 6.
114 days worth.
Okay, well, I have 120 with my other shitty rations.
I did the fun roll.
Alright.
Anyway,
Can I
so,
ask something
be my guest.
before you dip away? Sorry. Walker, this is probably while they're making the pemmican. Probably a little bit after the brief flash of uncertainty.
I'll add that, specifically the process, Hannah. Do you know how pemmican's made?
I listened to the one episode, and I think you described it then.
So she knows as much as anybody else here.
Oh, shit,
Yeah,
that's really
yeah,
funny.
That's
Ben,
really
would we have found some berries to toss in there as well?
I'm sure you could have.
Yeah.
I mean, you know this area decently
Not a
well.
lot
Yeah.
of berries, but it's an
Yeah.
amount to add some flavor. Drying and then pulverizing meat, combining it with liquid fat, turning into balls. Not complex. So go ahead.
Add honey instead, you forehead.
That would make it go bad.
Yeah, the idea is
No.
to keep it dry.
Yeah, keep it hydrophobic. With
What
fat.
you want to do is
Honey in
add
the
sugar.
middle.
Add sugar.
Honey in the
Also, adding
center.
sugar is actually something people do with pemmican. Anyway, Hannah.
Walker, have you decided what you're gonna do?
There's a pause from Walker, but he quickly gets working. Regarding.
Well, your mother?
What's there to do? She's in Garland. Brother.
I mean, we're we headed that way?
I don't know. Just a conversation I still need to have with my father. Things are going to get dangerous here, whether he accepts it or not.
I mean, he seems like a very capable man. Keeping his head at the very least. You know, in a fight, probably not, but...
I'm not worried about him losing a fight. I'm worried about Lenore. There's a tense attention of Walker's muscles as he pauses. I'm worried about them turning their scourges on their own land, on their own people.
They would do that?
It's already happened. There were some fish monsters we dealt with in Dunrock. We left thinking we'd gotten them all, but turns out there was a whole army of them. Think like zombies in that cave that we dealt with. Something like that, but they could hide in the water and were much smarter.
Creatures of the water are very scary, yes.
Walker nods. We found out that was a scourge.
That is terrible. Why would they do that? They must have a reason, right?
Walker just shakes his head. It's beyond me. But things in this war aren't... Well, Lenore's winning, as of right now. But once the Dragonheart Alliance gets involved and they start losing, I'm just worried about what they're going to do once they get desperate. Even if my father agrees to leave, I just don't know what comes next.
I can barely imagine people killing other people, let alone unleashing powerful forces. It's just not even... But I think your father is smart enough to know what he's doing. And I mean, no matter what, you can always just go fuck into the wilderness forever. Right? I mean, you know enough to survive.
Yashri, there was an item. You remember I mentioned the scions before? I told you what they were.
Yes,
The one good thing they did was keep one of those items out of the hands of Lenore. It was a black candle in a vault of other magical items. Looked harmless enough. Evian almost lit it. There's almost like a grim laugh from Walker. Lockhart told us that if it burned for 3 minutes, everything around us, everyone in that castle, next few towns over, we would have all dropped dead. Just like that. Walker shakes his head again.
Where do these come from?
Walker shakes his head once more. It's beyond me. Something about bindings of some ancient evil or something.
I can see why you want to get out of here. Truly.
It's not only that. That's an extreme, but something I can foresee happening. If things get truly desperate, Lenore might start conscripting anyone and everyone just to fight against whoever is trying to invade.
I mean, there must be something we can do then, right? I mean, I know you want to care for your father, as you know, because you have this connection to him, but is there not something we could do to protect more people? Or something? Besides just covering our own asses? And leaving?
Entire nation of people who would be against you. It's not something that's possible. Most we can do is save the few people we can. Simon's family are going to be back in a few days. If he's not going to tell them, I'm going to try to urge him to do so. I know Mari's not a fan of his parents, but he deserves to at least reconnect with them. See them one more time, even if he decides not to tell them. You just tell random people who wouldn't believe us anyway. People will think we're hysterical. Until he would probably get involved.
I
Conspiracy. Inciting riotous behavior. A couple years in the red band right there. Not to mention all the other shit we're into. Or kind of rubs his temple.
Well then, at the end of the day, we can help those that we can. As many as we can, even though it seems awful to damn anyone else. But we help those we can. Do what we can to survive. Right? That's all we can do. Right? If we sit and we just dwell upon things that we can't do, there's no good in that, right? And that might actually be hysterical.
Walker kind of looks down at the fire for a moment. I've always thought inaction was the worst thing you could do. Sitting and doing nothing when you could apply yourself, do anything productive. It was a waste. Walker kind of like taps his knee as he sits, waiting for some pimmick, for fucking deer meat to dry.
We have to do what we can, change what we can. And we can't. We just have to move on. And hope that it's destiny.
Yeah. Do what you can. Kind of says to himself, more than to Ishri. He slowly stops tapping his knee, begins reaching into his bag, pulls out his small whittling knife, and that figure once again begins working on it as the pemmican, as the meat dries.
Ishri will just watch for a bit to try to figure out like what exactly you're doing, and then once she's kind of like gotten the gist of how it's working, she's just gonna kind of like, you know, polish her weapon, that sort of thing.
It's clearly a person.
Well, yeah. But like, no, like the actual like physical process of the whittling. Yeah.
I don't know if it's something that a person who'd never seen someone whittle before would get, but Walker's pretty good at whittling.
You have no context for that, so.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, he's the best whittler you've ever seen.
True.
See? Easy.
So, eventually, night comes. You guys all find your way back to the Bee's Knees.
I imagine Walker is out in the woods working until pretty late. Like,
Okay.
it does take a while to make pemmican.
Oh, and you were heading back to the Bee's Knees after you were done?
He'll go back to the mill first and see if his friends are there, and if they're not, he'll go to the inn.
No. Seems the mill seems to shut down at sundown. Like, at a quick, like, you could see some people cleaning up, and they mentioned something about Cordell had an issue where a longtime friend lost a finger at one point, so they have a rule: as soon as the sun starts setting, that's it.
Okay.
No more dangerous objects.
Cool.
Well, he will wave to the workers as he departs back to town.
Little known to most people, that person was actually someone who just got on Cordell's bad side.
And you head back, and I will presume that Evie and Amari and Rom are having dinner.
Yeah.
Presume correctly.
And you can see them probably, I'd say halfway done with dinner at this point. They've probably been here for close to half an hour, ordered food, drinks. You can see they have been busting their ass. Well, Evie and Amari have been busting their ass. Rom has been out in the heat.
Doesn't like work way.
Better than
I don't. It doesn't.
There's a joke I could make here, but I'm not going to.
Do it. Do it.
Than that.
I dare you. I fucking dare you.
She was out in the heat, better than being in heat.
I didn't expect that. I was expecting a busting your ass
Mitch.
joke.
Anyway,
It doesn't say anywhere that casting a spell for 8 hours is exhausting, but I imagine that like when Owen gets to the inn, his voice is hoarse from singing. He hasn't exactly been idle all day.
yeah. On top of that, you are also walking around in the Lenorian heat of summer. Like, it's miserably hot out. Even with shade, so.
So he will purchase dinner of his own and join his friends.
There is no Walker, no Ishri, and no Simon to be seen.
What
In
time is it
between-
exactly?
Probably, like, nearing, like, 8:30, 9 o'clock or so. It's
Given what I said, will we get back
decently after.
around 10, 10:30?
Probably, that sounds right.
Oh, if before we go back, Ishri's gonna say, are we heading?
I know. I think Owen was gonna do a scene.
Okay, cool.
I had a thing for dinner.
Sorry. Yep.
Thank you, Glenn. In between ravenous bites of whatever dinner is, Owen doesn't look like he's really paying attention. He's just eating. Owen will glance up between the three of his friends that are here, and he'll say, kind of through a full mouth, he'll say, well, let me find it. I've already forgotten the name. He'll say, mostly to Amari and Rom, he'll say, either of you know where the Styries Forest is?
Do we?
Yes, all of you would know that the Styries Forest is the large forest north of Verona.
It's right here.
It's right here, Amari says.
Amari says on
Pointing
its
at
in his
nothing.
little he pulls out
It
Google
wasn't
Maps.
in my
Yeah.
Amari voice.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah.
in character.
Or he pulls out his iPhone 11, points to it on Google Maps.
It's roughly west of here.
It's north of Verona.
Well, that's not too far, is it?
Mm-mm.
And you see a wide, contented smile spread across Owen's face as he just goes back to shoveling food into his mouth.
What are you grinning about?
He takes another big bite, swallows, still with that shit-eating grin on his face, and he says to Rom, "Had word, Marquez?"
Mm-hmm.
Styries Forest is the place. A few weeks.
Well, how about that? Suppose we have some time to kill.
Mayhap.
Especially in Verona. Or we can try to avoid it if you all want to.
There's still a few things I need to find out. I'll have to go and fetch Fergus at some point. I'm
Mm.
hoping to find out where my friend Miles is as well. I'll not leave without him if I can help it.
Well, that
Well.
sounds good.
Like I said, we got time now. Just gotta make the best of it.
Yeah. Should I visit my parents? Am I an ass for not doing that? Am I the asshole?
I suppose that
Don't you
depends
do
on
it? Go ahead.
it depends on what you plan to do, Amari.
Well, I don't know. In all honesty, I don't really want to in the first place. It's just, I don't know.
If you mean come with Evian and I, I would suggest that you at least... Well, I don't want to say speak to them one last time, but... If you never got a chance again, I think you'd regret it. At least I would.
Better
Yeah, I
safe
guess
than
that's fair.
sorry, I guess. Better safe than sorry, I guess. He just downs his mead.
I ought to think about that myself.
On the bright side, Lenore is not a very big place. There's plenty of time for all.
So, discussing your various basic plans for the next little while. Eventually, you relax, you get this table you're nice and comfortable with. The plates come and go, the cups come and go, the drinks come and go, the people come and go, and eventually, Walker and Ishri come.
Ishu doesn't come. That's what I was trying to say. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. But as like Walker's making to leave, basically she's saying, you're going back, right? I'll catch up in the morning. It's nice out here. At night, doesn't hurt as much. I need to think for a bit.
Yeah, sure. Do you need anything before I head back?
No, I should be able to find my way back. If I get into trouble, I'll leave a mark like this, and she just in the dirt draws out basically an X shape with 2 slashes on the left side, essentially. If I get into trouble, I'll leave a couple of marks of where I'm at, so you can locate me.
Walker silently thinks, God, that's better than a J. But does not say that. I understand. Alright.
Definitely.
Do you want some of this pemmican for dinner, or?
Sure. Yes. Thank you.
Walker will get our a single ball of pemmican. Nice and freshly salted.
Yum.
It's not. It tastes meaty. Like, it tastes meaty with the hint of sweetness from the berries. Like, the salt really gives it that good flavor. The only thing to really get past is the texture. It's because it's like solidified fat mixed with beef, and it's like an emulsion of that.
I've always imagined it as like slimy without the slime.
Waxy is what you're thinking.
Yeah.
It's vaguely waxy, but doesn't taste bad.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll see you in the morning.
Walker nods. I'll be at the inn in the morning with the others.
Okay.
He starts walking off. As Walker enters the inn, he'll nod in the direction of the others and then move towards the bar. Who's there?
You see Doc looking up at you.
Mr. Jakeman. Need to buy a couple things.
Moses, what do you need? Anything in particular, or?
Is there like a wall of bottles behind him?
Not a wall of bottles, per se. Mostly kegs that are vaguely marked. Not necessarily for a resale type of thing.
Right.
Yeah. Need bottles to go, or
I want to bottle the good stuff.
on honey mead, or
Yeah.
and, produces a bottle of the good stuff. 2 crosses.
Walker puts down 3. Keep some mead coming to the table for as long as that lasts.
He nods.
You'll gesture with a thumb towards the group.
Y'all on a bit of a tab now already, anyway.
Well, there's my portion.
Figure you'll be here at least a few days till you leave. You know, the room's
Something
free,
like
but room and board taken care of. But you know, food's a little different. Got you that first night though. Gives a little half smile.
Thank you, Mr. Jakeman.
Any idea what's going on with my boy?
Well, he met a girl.
You can see immediately he tries to react and then doesn't, and just, like... You would assume he's trying to be optimistic by not reacting yet.
Interesting one. Cared enough about him to get us to go look for him after he didn't come back. Didn't know it was him at the time. Until she started talking about him. Anyway, tried doing a big bounty. Presser, probably. Sure the money didn't hurt either.
He kind of rolls his eyes at the did a big bounty to impress her. Well, he did something right if she was willing to look out for enough help to find you.
No idea where either of them are now.
Well, hopefully one day he'll find them or they'll come home. Let's hope he's not in any bad trouble.
Right. Walker silently thinks to himself how he will find Jakeman.
And
before all this is said and done.
With
then
that,
he quickly puts away that bottle. Does Walker get given a mug before he walks over, or?
yeah, I mean the table has many empty mugs on it. But if you need another one, you can be given one. Otherwise,
like a full mug is what I'm asking.
Oh, okay, yeah, no problem.
Yeah. But Walker put down the extra crust, say like, "Hey,
Yeah.
keep him,
Yeah,
get me drunk."
Yeah, this isn't full tankards. Mead's a little, especially this mead's a little bit stronger than what that fucking shitty 3% ale. But
right. I mean, Walker will drink it at a casual pace enough to enjoy it. But anyway, Walker will get to the table and sit down with the others.
As he approaches the table, Owen does that thing that drunk and or tipsy people do when they see a good friend arrive at the party, and he'll do the hey, and he'll like bang on the seat next to him and like pull it out for Walker without getting up from the table.
Walker will take a seat, put his
obvious.
bag on the back of the chair.
It is obvious that Owen at least is in high spirits.
Walker leans back a bit, begins drinking his drink. History said she'll be long in the morning. Wanted to stay out in the woods for the night. Didn't ask why.
There's not a lot like a night under the stars.
Guess not.
I imagine if Simon were here, he would be agreeing wholeheartedly.
I don't think there was any stars where she's from.
There was, well, other focuses at the time.
Aye.
Despite beginning to drink, Walker's in his a little kind of typical stone-faced, not very enthused Walker attitude.
So, as the 5 of you drink at the Bee's Knees for the night, Simon apparently staying the night with his brother at his...
I was hoping for some more time at the table with the boys.
No problem. I didn't know you needed to do anything else.
Yeah. I don't know how much we want to play out of it, but Walker will eventually be getting fucking crunk at the table off Honeymead.
It's more efficient because you have to take less piss breaks.
Exactly. See, the honey makes it lurch slowly through the pipes.
I was just talking about the higher alcohol content, but okay.
That too.
So, you guys start drinking well into the night. Walker, you have some ground to make up, given the fact that the quartet of Owen, Rom, Evian, and Amari have already started. Amari in particular, though, drinking out of his magic funny cup.
Walker sees it, but does not acknowledge it. Say, Owen. Walker will say after a couple of drinks.
What's on your mind, Walker?
The holidays down in Garland, I'm sure.
Aye.
Anything where you, any big celebrations?
Well, I mean, Garish Independence Day is, it's a sight to see. If you thought the festivities in Dunrock were something to behold, there's no place I'd rather be than Barat, Garish Independence Day.
Imagine plenty of drink going around.
Well, let me put it this way. Owen starts kind of chuckling uncontrollably. Let me put it this way, Walker. Even the rats are nice drunk by the night's end. Garish Independence Day. Ale flows freely through the streets.
Walker contemplates the idea, finds it mildly appealing, though he does find the cup in front of him even more so, and does take another sip. You know, I don't know if you know about it, but we got holidays up here too. Let's see. Excuse me while I consult my notes on the name of this. Day of Soul, the big one. Yeah, there's some church bullshit with it, but it's mainly just a reason to get drunk with your family and friends.
As all good holidays should be. Owen raises his own cup.
Walker nods sagely. Yeah, we kind of missed it. It's probably around the time we headed through Fort Siege, but it's happens on the solstice.
Well, that's a shame. I suppose we were otherwise engaged at the time.
Yeah. No. It's always good to find reason to celebrate.
I think we missed Rom's birthday as well, didn't we?
That's not that important.
Oh. Well. I guess it can be
Mildly important.
Is it?
Walker fucking turns around, reaches into his bag, moves a few things around, and pulls out a pipe and hands it over to Rom. See, it looks like a wooden carved pipe.
Well, I'll be. What is this supposed to be, a birthday present?
Say it's for both. That and Day of Soul.
Well, I never. She looks incredibly flattered.
Yeah, not everything's done yet. But they will be. Specifically, Alex, it's not at all decorated. It's just a nice, very good, well-finished pipe.
for smoking some bowls.
Yeah, it's for your pipe weed.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, you have that, don't you?
She do.
Walker saw all the dirty laundry when he searched everyone's bags back in fucking the Scion port.
Oh god.
Anyway, I'll have something for everyone for the holiday. Though it's not all quite done yet.
Well, that's mighty nice of you, Walker. Didn't have to do that.
Yeah,
Very generous.
it's a lot of things I haven't had to do.
I'll drink to that, my friend. Owen will raise his cup again.
Walker can't help but laugh at this stupid thing he said, and joins Owen in lifting his glass and drinking some more. I still don't know what to do next.
Owen kind of pulls himself together a little bit. He's not drunk, but he's
Just happy.
yes. And he kind of leans in a little bit. I've had news.
Good news.
Aye.
Let's hear it then.
The wide smile returns to Owen's face. Marquez says we are to meet his contact in Styres Forest about 6 weeks from now.
There's recognition on Walker's face when he hears the name of the forest. Sounds like there's some time to do some things.
Aye.
I'm going to try to convince my dad to go. There's just too much risk in staying here long term.
Been trying to make sense of what he told us this morning.
Stop trying. It just doesn't make sense. Magic revenge. Walker down some more mead. That's whatever. There's more present worries than that. And that's what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Walker kind of puts his elbows on the table and leans in. I haven't talked about it with you all, but you've seen what Lenore did to Dunrock.
Yes.
I worry about what it's going to do once it's desperate and invaded by a much more powerful force. What would it do to its own cities, its own people? Conscripting everyone's the least of my worries. You've seen how ragtag the Red Band are. What happens when every one of their fathers is a member of the Red Band, and the Dragonheart Alliance doesn't know who's an enemy combatant and who isn't. Even further than that, at all points, Lenore are going to be desperate enough to start using scourges anywhere. Like shakes his head, goes to down some more mead.
There's only so many of those, though. What do we know about 1, 2, 3, 4?
There's like 13. Anyway, there's still a chance that Lenore has more. It's not something I want to take. Thought about it earlier. If that something had happened with that candle. Archer kind of shakes his head, kind of like in disbelief. Probably would have reached Dreswood. It's not something I want to think about, but gotta think about the future.
Don't have to have the whole weight of Lenore square on your shoulders. We'll do up her.
Not worry about the whole Lenore, just what's in front of me.
Over the next few days, I plan to send more messages and gather what information I can.
More information is always better to have. Are you gonna have Fergus come down to Dreswood?
I don't know.
Meet you somewhere else?
The problem is, I know where Fergus, well, at least I know where he was. So I can ride there, fetch him. There are others I wish to speak to that I can't say the same for.
How many?
Miles, at least.
Well, I don't know how long it takes you to do that, but a month is a long time.
Could be anywhere. Don't know.
Well, you should be fine here while you take care of that, at least. Those messages.
My hope
Walker
is
kinda...
that
Go ahead.
my hope is that by the time Simon's family returns, I'll have enough information to know where I'm going next.
Walker's expression lightens a bit, drinks a little more ale, taps the cup. Tell me, Owen, do you really like that tea from earlier? Smelled it from your cups and it smelled rancid.
Owen smiles again.
Don't talk about it. I can still taste it in the back of my throat. Okay.
Terrible.
He lets out a big belly laugh. Leans back as he does so. It'd be impolite to not drink what's put in front of you, Walker.
Don't tell my dad I told you this, but I'm pretty sure he was just trying to get rid of it so he wouldn't have to drink it.
Owen laughs again, long and hearty.
If you like that type of thing, you should visit Rachel Stonebreaker. She's a family friend of ours, and I'm pretty sure she's the one giving my dad all the tea.
Oh, make no mistake, Walker. I do love me a good cup of tea, but I'm in no hurry to find another one like that.
There you go.
Walker kind of shrugs. Just shrugs.
So with that, as Simon spends the day catching up with his brother, who he has not seen in an incredibly long time, the five of you, Walker, Owen, Rom, Evian, and Amari, you spend the night drinking and having a new lease on, yeah, something can happen now. We've got a chance. Feels great to just think about. And Ishri, you spend the night staying out in the wilderness.
Walker does drink until he passes out, by the way.
Oh, back to that. All right.
Yep.
Rom will make sure that Walker's unconscious body is carried to wherever the fuck he's sleeping.
Are you gonna carry him back to his house?
Oh, Walker
Yes.
wakes up in his own bed.
Take him back to his dad.
Owen will be more than happy to help Rom. Fucking,
Papa Walker,
fucking
you're still
zoom in
passed out
the
from
drunk
drinking
lad
too
back
much.
to his house.
You're making this like funny, goofy voice, Mitch. But didn't fucking Papa Walker just threaten a party member like an hour ago?
Don't worry about it.
He did do that thing that you said.
So,
Then go ahead.
eventually you get Walker home and you see a very tired-looking Cordell answer the door and I got it. Hoists Walker onto his shoulder and just carries him in, limp and all. The rest of you eventually find yourselves in bed. Sleep takes you, and with brighter days hopefully ahead, we're gonna go ahead and end tonight's session. Whew, boy, that was fun.
I still can't believe Walker's now a Garsh Prince.
Please. I'm more like I'm more like Garsh enemy number 1.
Yeah, it is now confirmed.